halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw and paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking her vibe. What's the meaning of life? Once rejected paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and rating and grain, rekindling the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom, yes it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Wednesday, December the 3rd, and it is definitely wintertime. You can tell by the weather, hot, cold, freezing, then warm, whatever. It kind of goes back and forth as it is. We're going to talk about our Thunder and the win last night, but first of all, let's talk about a couple breaking things, especially Chris Paul, right off the bat. The Clippers, of course, Chris Paul announced this was his last year. He was done. And then the Clippers saw fit to release him while on a road trip. Once again, what do we say? Mets, Jets, Clippers. Three worst run organizations. The Jets and the Mets and the Clippers have two of the richest owners in sports. But that doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't. Money doesn't make you smart. Money doesn't make you cool. Money doesn't make you anything except money makes you rich. And being able to do whatever the hell you want to do, whatever you want to do it. That's it. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you anything. Now, when I think about how do you do this to a guy who basically was the one that started your franchise turning around with him and Blake Griffin and that. How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you make sense of that one thing right there? I don't get it. You can't wait till you get back home. You have to release him on the road. Mets, Jets, Clippers. Or Jets, Mets, Clippers. Now it's Clippers, Jets, Mets, or Clippers, Mets, Jets, or Jets, Mets, whatever is what it is. And I don't, how do you do that? How do you not have respect for somebody who is as meaningful not only to your organization, but to basketball? You couldn't really wait till you got back? Why are you releasing the ball? Y'all are terrible. And by the way, thank you for our lottery pick. Because at the rate you're going, we get your pick. So once again, thank you Clippers for allowing the Thunder to add even more because you gave us SGA, you gave us J-Dub. Now who the hell you gonna give us? That's what the Clippers have done, have gave to the Thunder. SGA, then J-Dub. Now we'll see what they're gonna give us in the draft. I just don't understand organizations like this. What the hell are you thinking? What are you doing? But it just goes to show you that's why they're just bad run. And Steve Ballmer's in trouble with Kawhi Leonard and, whether he gave him money or not, I don't know. I mean, he's a multi-gazillionaire, billionaire. He can do whatever the hell he wants with his $100+ billions of dollars, which is more money than any of us will ever realize in our entire existence. So once again, now I want the Clippers to lose every damn game. Not only because we get their pick, but because of the way you treated Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul is a no-nonsense type guy. He's going to speak his mind, and maybe that's part of what it was, is that he rubbed them the wrong way, and they got pissed off and said, to hell with you, bye. That could be it. But once again, how do you do that to him? I just don't understand organizations like this. I just don't get them. I just don't get them. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, it's like everybody was talking about with the Thunder when they got rid of Russell. Well, when they got rid of Paul George and they got rid of Russell, they realized the Russell Westbrook Paul George thing was not going to bring us back because neither one of them are Kevin Durant. Neither one of them are Kevin Durant. Not even combined, they're Kevin Durant. So when you lose Kevin, you get Paul George thinking, okay, well, we're going to make this happen. Yeah, no, that didn't work. Because you got two guys who don't perform in the playoffs. I mean, not really. So that's what you end up getting. So can you blame the Thunder for getting the, 5 first-round picks for SGA? No. And like I said, the Clippers gave us a organization who was at the bottom. At the bottom, you gave us SGA to start with as a foundation. You gave us all the picks, which we used when to get J-Dub. And then now you turn around and you do this. I mean, it's Chris Paul. Now, granted, he can rub people the wrong way. I get all that. But he's honest. I can appreciate the honesty. If I'm a bum, tell me. If I'm not working hard, tell me. I have no problem with that. I'm a hard self-evaluator on myself without all that. I don't need that, but hey, whatever. I just thank you, Clippers, for showing us how really, really screwed up y'all are in this organization. The Clippers, the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you very much. And then the other breaking news, Giannis and his agent is having talks now with Milwaukee. And the things they've done to try to appease him and the mistakes they made. And their GM and you won the championship, which you did. Then you turn around and you got older when you should have retooled, but they kept everybody. That didn't work. You get Chris Paul. You get Damian Lillard. You give up everything to retool for that. That didn't work. Giving up Drew Holiday, I didn't understand that one at all. So he just left you and went to Boston, won another chip because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have won theirs. Well, I'll say, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Let's face it. Yes. But I'm just saying Drew was a huge, huge factor in that. Now you look at what Milwaukee has done. They've just totally just broken up their team. And I think Giannis is done there. I think he is. But they try to do everything they can do to appease him. Well, right now, you have no picks. You have nothing to give away. You're stuck. Only thing you can do is do what Oklahoma City did. Said, okay, let's get rid of Paul George. Let's get rid of Russell. Let's get a bunch of picks. Let's retool. So now all you can do is you can send Giannis to a team that has a young superstar and just rebuild. Now the question is, where do you want to send? Because he's just not going to go anywhere. So you got to take care of the guy who brought you a chip. You got to take care of the guy who could have left multiple times and stayed. You can't continue to waste one of the top the three best players in the league. And right now, it's no doubt it's Jokic, SGA, and him. Those are the 3 best players. And then Luka's working his way back up there into that. But the difference is all 3 of those guys, especially Giannis and SGA, they play defense. Jokic plays defense as good as he can. But Luka's trying to now. But those 3. And I just look at the fact of what Milwaukee has done. You've wasted this guy. And the Thunder said, well, everybody goes, well, the Thunder bringing everybody back just like Milwaukee. No, it's not the same. The Thunder were young. The Thunder are young. They can afford to bring everybody back. And remember, the apron doesn't affect us for a couple more years. We don't have to worry about it until 2028. Now, with the Thunder decisions they're going to have to make this year, you got to pay Casey Wallace this summer. And you got to decide on whether you're going to bring iHeart back. Because this is our team option for his next year, which is the last year with us, will be his 3rd year. Is he worth the $30 million? Well, you got to look at what he's doing. But back to Milwaukee, what do? I say you just say, F it, let's Send Giannis where he wants to go. Let's get the most amount of picks we can get. Let's get us a young, budding superstar so you can do what the Oklahoma City Thunder did. Trade away Russell, trade away Paul George, and you get what you get. And hopefully you can get an SGA, which I don't see. I don't see very many SGAs. That's the guys I look out there and go, damn, that's the guy who can bring us a chip. Don't really see that. But there are, you could fit your organization and build some multiple people around, some draft picks, especially this year. This is going to be a great draft. And once again, thank you to the Clippers. We appreciate y'all. Again, the gift that just keeps giving. Merry Christmas to the Thunder. Oh, what a show that they are. It's just pathetic with them and what they do. It's just really, it's hilarious. But anyway, now back to our team, the Thunder. They took care of business. Now going 21-1. They are now 89-15 since the start of last year. Think about that, Thunder. 89-15 since the start of last year. We're 21-1, 11-11, and remember we were up 20 and our only loss this year. We're up 20 against Portland, and they came back and got us. And it looked like the same thing was going to happen here. But what have I been saying for 2 years, 3 years? Just take J-Dub out for 2 to 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. Keep in your team that you need to run, which is usually SGA, Kaysen, Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, if you can get him in there, but AJ now because you can have him in there. But my team is, since Caruso's not there, it's usually SGA, Caruso, Wiggins, Kaysen, and Chet. So yesterday, with 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go, you bring in SGA, and your team is SGA, Joe, AJ, Wiggins, and J. Will, and you're down 3. You put J-Dub on the bench. Now remember, did you have a lead going into the fourth quarter? Did you have a lead going into the fourth quarter? That's the key. That's the question you got to ask yourself. Do we have a lead? I believe yes, we did. Now I didn't really watch the game. I had to go back and look at what happened during the game. But let me see. Did we have a lead going into the fourth quarter? Let me see. The score was 63, 83, 91. Yes, we had the lead going into the fourth quarter. And, of course, that lead evaporated like it always does with that fourth quarter. That group has been struggling since I can remember. But you think with AJ in there would make a difference. But the Thunder did what they needed to do. 103, 101, 101, 103 with 6 minutes and 35 seconds. We score. They call timeout. The Thunder are up now 108, 107. Okay, 108, 107 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds. You can just tell the game had changed. J-Dub comes in, makes a bucket. SJ hits another 3. We hit another 3 in transition off the double, and the game was over. Just like that. And thank you, Dagnall, for listening to me and taking J-Dub out the game. I appreciate it. Just 2 minutes. Take him out for 2 minutes, not 30 seconds. Take him out for 2 minutes. Okay? And that's the way I look at it. Take him out for 2 minutes and do that. That's all you got to do. 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. That's all I want. Take him out. And that changed the game. If you don't do that, you lose. Warriors 18 for 42 from the field from 3. We were 15 for 32 from 3. They shot 45%. We shot 58%. They out-rebounded us by 1. And then, of course, Pips points in the paint. We had 58. They had 42. We did have 15 turnovers, which you just can't turn the ball over that much. 16 to 15. And then bench scoring. And that has a lot to do with is Seth younger than Steph? I think Seth is younger than Steph. But anyways, Seth came in his first game with them and just did really, really well. And but anyway, the Thunder took care of business, 124 to 112, and which is what you need. And then, of course, then box scoring. Chet, 30 minutes, he had 21 points. He was 8 for 12, 2 for 3, just dominant. Just absolutely dominant. 8 rebounds, only 1 block. But the key is what does he do altering shots? And what happens with that? That's what Chet's, it's not necessarily the blocks, it's the altered shots and the blocks, and then how many times somebody's in for could get a layup and Chet sitting right there and they have to pass the ball back out. Those are things that make the difference when having a big man who's an intimidating force that can block shots in the paint. SGA, once again, what can you say? 36 minutes, 38 points, 13 for 21, 5 for 6 from 3, 7 for 10. He's got it. That free throw, that's just concerning for me. He's got to be able to make free throws because, let me see, in the last 2 games, he is what? 17 for 22. That's, come on, man. You're better than that. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. For whatever reason, he's just missing free throws. He's got to make those. Because I want him to be 50, 40, 90. And right now, he's 54. He's 50. It's average 30. Shoot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the line. And the last time somebody did that, they were unanimous MVP, and that was Steph. So I'm wanting SGA to do the same thing, but of course, that Jokic is going to get points simply because it's Jokic. But I want him to be 30, 50, 40, 90. 30 points a game, 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% from the line. And then caveat to that is this. The only 2 players to have 4 years of shooting 50% and averaging 30 are Michael Jordan and SGA. SGA has done it 3 straight years. This will be his 4th. Michael Jordan did for 5 years consecutively, which is just crazy. So SGA has a chance to do that. J-Dub, still nice having J-Dub back. It really, really is. 33 minutes, 22 points, 9 for 16 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. We like that. 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He had 1 bad turnover dribbling off his leg. He just does not have the ball handling skills. He just doesn't. And I've said that when everybody talks about, oh, he has more upside than SGA. I go, you people don't know anything about basketball. I don't give a shit if you're an NBA coach. I don't give a shit who you are. If you think he has more upside than SGA, you do not know basketball. That's you not liking SGA for whatever reason and drinking J-Dub's Kool-Aid because of his athleticism. There's just no way you can actually think that and believe it. It's just great. That's just insane to me. It's insane to me. But it is so great having him back in the lineup. Kaysen, 28 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 7, 0 for 3. I still think Caleb is trying to figure out, or Kaysen is trying to figure out what is my role? What am I doing? Where do I fit? So I think that's where Kaysen is at right now. J-Dub's got back, but he's still kind of struggling in this year 3. But do we pay him? Hell yes. Hell yes, we pay him this summer. $25, $30 million a year? Hell yes. 100% behind that. A.J. Mitchell, 32 minutes, 10 points, 4 for 6. He had a big bucket last night on when the Thunder were making their comeback with him and SGA on the court. Nice bucket. Gotta appreciate that. Jay Will, 22 minutes, 1 point, 0 for 1. I think Jay Will is filling in fine. As long as he doesn't get in there trying to do a bunch of stuff. My thing again, once again, Jay Will, I love you. Quit trying to block shots and take charges. Nick Collison made a living. You drive down the middle, he's taking a charge. He's taking a charge. And Jay Will is just used to do that. And, people quit driving us whenever he's in the game because they know you're in the game, he's going to take a charge. Now they're going, oh, you going to block my shot? Pfft, they ain't worried about that, bro. Go back to taking charges. Go back to doing what you do. I need you to knock down threes, take charges, and please learn how to box out on a free throw. Please. K. Rich, 17 minutes. Man, 2 for 3, 1 for 2. Not mad at you, K. It's good seeing you, big dog. K. Rich, Kendrick Williams. Man, glad to see him back. Isaiah Joe's minutes is a little bit going down, which is where they should. But if he's going 3 for 4 from 3, I don't mind playing him 18 minutes. If he's not knocking down threes, then it's 10, 12. You just can't play him because they're going to exploit him. Wiggins, love to see Wiggs back. 22 minutes, 11 points, 4 for 8, 1 for 5. He's got to knock down threes in transition. That's when he knocks down threes, in transition, not trying to do a bunch of stuff, just in transition. Next 10 games, because the Thunder got by this one, we have the Mavs at home. This Friday night game will be on Prime. Cooper Flag coming to town. We'll see how that's going to play out, but that should be another victory for the Thunder, number 14, which will make us 90 and 15 since the start of last year. Now, uh, this is what the Thunder were last year. Okay, through the first 20 games, we were 15-5. The Thunder were 19-1. Through 25 games, the Thunder were 20-5. This current Thunder are 21-1 through 25 games. Now, of course, we've only played 22, but with 3 games left. So our next 3 games, just to match that, will be the Mavs, the Jazz, and the Clippers at home. So the Mavs at home, at the Jazz, and Clippers at home. We should win 3 of those, which would make us 24-1. We were 20-5 last year. And I'm going to keep this little running total so that I can kind of keep track of that. But right now, we have a great chance because I don't see us losing. And even if we lose the next 3 games, that still puts us at 21-4, which I don't see that. I think we'll beat the Mavs at home. I think we'll beat the Jazz. You know, it's going to be tough. They are tough to play there. They really are, but we can still get them at their home. Then we have the Clippers at home, and, of course, we need to beat the Clippers. We need to beat the Clippers. Let's continually pound them, one, because of the way they did Chris Paul. And this is the thing with the Clippers. SGA is going to have you. He's going to be looking for y'all. And this is why. Number one, you traded him. So every time he sees you, he wants to bust your head in. Now, his mentor, Chris Paul, who, as he says, taught him how to raise a family, how to be away from your family, how to make them better. You treated him like trash. So what's he going to do to you now? I see him with a 40, high 30s, even a 40 piece against them. Not going to be mad if he bricks their. Anyway, I'm not going to say it. The Clippers should relocate to San Diego, says the Lakers fan. They're an unserious franchise. I don't know if they're unserious. I think they're just like the Mets, the Jets, the Clippers. They're all the same. And the Browns. They're just badly run. They just are. They make the stupidest decisions. I just don't get it. But once again, Alex, we can't be mad at them. I know you're a Laker fan, but we can't be mad at them. Why? They gave us SGA and they gave us J-Dub, and they're going to give us a lottery pick. We could have, can you imagine if we got Carlos Boozer? Or not Carlos Boozer, but his son? Can you imagine what we do if we get, is it Caleb Boozer? What is his name? Let me look that up real quick. Boozer Duke. Cameron. Can you imagine we get Cameron? Ooh. Now everybody talks about what about the kid at Kentucky? At Kansas. I love Kansas. But we don't need another guard. We're loaded with guards. Who are you going to take out? Who are you going to play him with? We don't need a guard. But a Boozer, Cam Boozer, man, I would, my goodness. I would love, love, love some Cam Boozer. I would not be upset with that at all. He is just an absolute beast, and you got to appreciate him. 6'9", 250, athletic, shoot the three, play defense, physical. Like his dad, but more athletic. That's what he was. He's his dad, but more athletic. Anyway, back to the Thunder schedule. Then, of course, we have the final 5 games will be the T-Wolves. At the T-Wolves, that's going to be a tough win, even though we can still beat them. They don't match up with us at all. And they're too busy griping about SGA's foul call, so we're in their head big time just on that alone. Then you got the Grizzlies after that, which Grizzlies are hanging in there, but, that's just I saw a thing last night that was talking about the difference between Ja and SGA and how SGA took Ja's spot as the next great guy on the face of the league. He definitely did that and just showed what Ja did. But to me, Ja has been a mess the whole time, running his mouth too much. Dude, you got to play. Quit running your mouth. That should be a W. So of our next 5 games, Mavs, Jazz, Clippers, T-Wolves, Grizzlies, we go 5-0, 4-1 at worst. Okay, worst would be 3-2. But 4-1 should be, you could be upset at any of those games if you don't play correctly. And the question is, when do we get Dort back? When do we get Caruso back? When are we gonna get iHeart back? Those are the $1 million questions. When are those guys coming back? Because with that full complement, you're not beating us. And just think about this: we haven't been a full squad yet. We haven't been a full squad yet. Then of course that Spurs, Sixers, with the Spurs on back to back, 23rd there, which is Tuesday night, and then Christmas is Thursday. So playing at San Antonio, that'd be a great game. I'd love to do. I'd love because I have my camp. Man, I wonder. That might be a game. I might try to see if I can get a ticket to go to that. That'd be a good game. Going down to San Antonio for the night on that 23rd, drive to San Antonio, watch the game, and then turn around and come back. Man, that'd be fun. I might look into that. That might be a good trip because I have my basketball camp that day. That might be a great trip. I might have to do that. That might be something good. I might have to do that. But anyway, when I look at our team, here's what we've done this year. Okay. What we've done this year in accolades as far as what we're accomplishing right now. And this is historic for the last 2 years of what we've done offensively, what we've done defensively, who we are, and what we're doing. This is our defensive rating. It's just crazy. Net efficiency. We're going to break our record from last year. 15.3. Defensive efficiency, 103.6. Opponent's field goal percentage, 42. Pips, points in the paint, 38.2. Turnovers, 18.1. That means we're turning the opponent, not us. We're turning the opposing, turning the opposition over. Points off turnovers, 24, first. Deflections, 23, first. That's deflection. That's getting your hands on the ball, stopping the ball away, whatever. Deflections. Percentage of 3 points contested, 19.7. 19.7, so that means we don't give up a lot of uncontested threes. Somebody's always right there with a hand in their face. And that's the rotation of the defense. The opponent's points per drive, 0.93, that's first. Now, what does that mean? Interior defense. Interior defense. So when you look at what our team is doing, we're first in net efficiency of 15.3, which is going to beat our record from last year. Defensive efficiency, 103.6, that's first. The closest people to us, I think, is 109. Opponent's field goal percentage, 42 first. Pips, points in the paint, 38.2 first. I mean, first. That's what the Thunder are doing historically defensively. So if we continue to play like this, what are the odds of us winning the chip? And I say they're pretty good. Simply why? Because of what we are accomplishing. Because defense travels. No matter where you go, no matter where you're at, defense travels. Football, defense travels. Baseball, defense travels. Great pitching overtakes great hitting. It just does. NFL, great defenses win chips. Well, you got to have the offense, but if you can't stop anybody, how the hell your offense going to get on the field? Defense is the one thing that travels. And that's why the Thunder are 89-15 since the start of last year. And last year, remember, I just said this, through our first 20 games, last year we were 20-5. We're 21-1 through 22 games this year. And we should be 24-1 through the 25 this year, 23-2 max, worst. So think about that for a minute on what the Thunder are actually doing, on what we're accomplishing. And since we were 15-5, we didn't lose again. We won 15 straight, which was our record last year. We won 15 straight games. We were 15-5, and then before we lost, we were 30-5 before we lost. 30-5. That's what you're dealing with. That's the team that we have. That's what you're able to when they made that run last night. That's what you can put on your hat. That's your hat holder. When you look at what we could have done last year, and we didn't play as well in the playoffs as we did in the season. But quite frankly, like I said, we don't lose to Denver to give away that first game. We beat them in 5. We don't give away the first game to the Pacers. We beat them in 5. That's the team that you should have. That's the team that should have won last year. That's the team that should have won last year. The one that was 84 should have been 84-15. It should be 84-17. That's what we should have been last year. Now, here's the $1 million question. What do we do? Do you go for the record, for the wins? And Draymond made a little comment, oh, well, it took all this out of me. Well, first of all, okay. What's that got to do with us? What happened to you? What they got to do with us? You made your run. You won your 4 chips. You should have won 5 chips. Remember, when you all had the most wins ever in history, it was your fault that they did not win it all, and you know it. You are the one that did something stupid and got kicked out and cost your team the championship. That's you, Draymond. Where did you have to go get Kevin Durant then? Because then you realize, oh shit, Cleveland has the belief they can beat us now. And you had to get Kevin Durant to go back to back to back against them 3 straight times, and Kevin Durant had to close the door twice on LeBron. And games 4 and 5 twice. He's just a monster. He is just one of the best players of all time, 100%. That being said, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over at SRB. They love to take care of you and make sure everything is running smoothly for you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county. They'll make sure you have clean drinking water. And as we always say, who the hell does not want that? And also, great civil engineers, too, for your city or county as well. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our boys up over there. They'll take care of you and make sure everything is fantastic. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. It's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and also 66 steps from historic US 66. YB Eastwood's off the Parkway and 39th Expressway, or US 66. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40, right there. Can't miss it. Right there in front of the Fairfield Hotel and the hospital. Cannot miss it right there. And then YB Peoples, located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then last but not least, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Can't tell you how good this stuff smells. It is so, so good. It really, really is. Appreciate these guys for everything they do for us and the ability for us to go out there and support them as well. Like I said, been to the Penn Square Mall. Haven't done it over at the women's department yet. Do it at the men's department every year. Every time we go, once a month. And then, of course, Woodland Hill Mall in Tulsa, which we just went to a couple weeks ago. Fantastic place, beautiful setup. They were great with us. Took very, very good care of me. And then, of course, Town East Mall in Wichita, which I'm going to try to get there in 2026. Oak Park Mall, not so sure about that one, but if we do it in Overland Park, Kansas, there, of course, is Overland Park, Kansas, which is Kansas, Missouri. You cross the street and you're in Missouri. So, we're still going to try to get to that one. I don't know about that one, and I don't know about Little Rock, but my goal is to, once a year, visit one of these locations once a year, because the Woodland Hills Mall was fantastic. So we need to do that. I know Little Rock. I always like Little Rock. Love to go up there and hang, especially. Well, anyway, like Little Rock. And then the South Plains Mall. The only reason why I'd go there is simply to see my goddaughter, Court. That's the only reason why I would That's the only reason why I would go there. I missed the OSU Texas Tech game, which was played there. Now, if the OSU basketball game is on a weekend and I'm not coaching, I may that may be me a good time for good time for me to go to Lubbock, but I'll try to figure that out. And then of course Westgate Mall in Amarillo, Texas, can't miss that as well. So those are different things that you can do, or I'm gonna be able to do the different locations, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to get to those locations. So anyway, now that being said, the NBA scores last night. It was some good games last night. Well, why is that down? Oh, I didn't bring that up. Oops, my bad. There we go. Uh, ooh, that's off center. I hate when I look up there and it's off center. The Wizards, of course, lose to the Sixers. What a shock that is. Raptors beat the Blazers. I tell you what, the Raptors, they're no joke right now. They are really, really getting in there. Yeah, Alex, I already talked about the Giannis lose. I saw where I just talked about that at the beginning of the show, Alex. I talked about number one, the Chris Paul thing, and then I talked about the Giannis after that, Alex, talking about I mean, that's just ridiculous to me. I just don't get it. I, but Giannis, can you blame him? I brought you a chip. You know, you kept everybody together. You got rid of the coach I wanted. You got me Dame Lillard. Then you got rid of Dame Lillard, and they have no room. They just, to me, like I said, Alex, to me, you just rebuild like Oklahoma City did. Just say, okay, we're going to trade you to a team that you kind of want to go to that has a young superstar that doesn't really, it's not going to affect your chance to win, but yet give us a chance to do something. Like if you get traded to Dallas, for example, they're not giving you Cooper Flag. So that's not happening. But they can give you something else, maybe Kyrie, maybe something like that, which I wouldn't want Kyrie because he's old. So I would have to think, give me something in Dallas. To me, what do they have besides picks? And they don't really have picks until what, the 2030. So they don't really have anything. So where would he go? Who has somebody they can give him, but yet still doesn't destroy their team? San Antonio, maybe. They're the only ones that I know of. You know, maybe I can give you Castle or something like that, 4 picks. Or give you De'Aaron Fox and picks. So that's a possibility as well. But anyway, I talked about that a little bit ago, Alex. Knicks and Celtics. Celtics took care of business. That was really a good game. And the Celtics took care of business. Jaylen Brown was a beast last night, an absolute beast. Spurs and Grizzlies. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. The Spurs, they are a scary team to me. They really, really are a scary team. Because when you look at the brackets or when you look at the standings, the 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all just back and forth, switching between each other, and you can see there's only a game between them. 5 losses, and of course they're 5 games back from us. But at the same time, you look at what is going on over there. We won 13 straight, which remember we won 15 in a row last year. And we can do that again this year with our schedule and who we have coming up. Because in our next couple of games, we have the Mavericks at home. That'll be 14 wins. We go to Utah, that's 15 wins. There's no reason why we can't duplicate that and win 15 in a row like we did last year. I don't see any reason why we cannot do that. I really don't. I don't think you guys either, because then you'll have the Suns on that Wednesday. So there's no reason why we can't have 14 wins against the Mavs at home, 15 wins against the Jazz there in Utah, and then 16 wins against the Phoenix Suns at home. Excuse me, that's not at home. That's the NBA playoff game. That's the NBA playoffs. That's the Cup, NBA Cup. That's that, which we'll talk about in just a second. But anyway, when you look at 2, 3, 4, and 5, 15 and 5, 13 and 5, 14 and 6, 14 and 6. They're all right there together. Talking about the Lakers 15 and 5, Rockets 13 and 5, Spurs 14 and 6, Nuggets 14 and 6. They're all right there. Then of course the T-Wolves are just on the outside, and then of course we play them the first game after the Cup. Who do we play? We play the Clippers the first game after the Cup. So we'll see how that's going to play out. So when you look at it, it's just tight. The Suns 13-9, and we just beat them, and then we have to play them again in the Cup. And why is that? Because they were the team of all the second place teams. They had the best win loss percentage, so that's why we have to play them the first time around in the playoffs or in the Cup, NBA Cup. And we'll talk about that just in a minute. Like I said, Warriors 11-11. We just beat them last night. And remember, no Steph and no Jimmy the second half. So we beat them, but once again, it was a lot more competitive this game than it was in Oklahoma City. But that being said, we didn't have Ihart, we didn't have Caruso, and we didn't have Dort. So we had three of our top five defensive players were not in the game. Yeah, it's okay. We still get a W, and I will take it. And then, of course, you have the Grizzlies and the Blazers just right there at the bottom, which, yeah, they're just out there. And, we spoke about Ja and how SGA took over, what everybody thought he was going to be the face of the league. And, of course, his arrogance and what he was doing and what he was saying and his actions just completely took that away from him, which is still, to me, what the hell was you doing, bro? And then in the East, you have the Pistons, 17-4, wins of two in a row. Raptors, they're still winning. I thought that they would come down a little bit, but they have not. Heat 14-7. Just, once again, a well-run organization. If you got a great ownership, great president, and then, of course, a great coach, that's what you do. You don't necessarily have the best talent in the world, but you still get W's because of your coaching and the moves that you make in game. That's the reason why they're 14-7. They still have some good players, but, you got Bam. Tyler Hero and them, yeah, they're just out there. But they're still doing what they need to do. And then, of course, you've got the Knicks. I'm not I like Cat, but I'm like, dude, you're a big dude and you like to shoot threes. You don't like to get in there and get physical. So I'm not that big of a fan of them. I'm just not. They don't scare me at all. The Magic, they're getting there little by little. They're coming along. And they're a team that could possibly make a run there in the East once Desmond and they all get together, get Franz back, and they get Moncaro back, and they get to play together for a while, and they get used to each other and get in a rhythm and understand where each other's going to do when and where they're going to be a force. Cavs, I think they had their window. They think they had their run. They're done. Hawks, still winning without Trey. But they, I disagree with a lot of people. I'm like, you got to have Trey. That's stupid. That's stupid. What he brings as far as defense, yeah, he doesn't play defense. That's not what he's there for. He's there to distribute. He's there to set everybody else up, and he's there to make plays down the stretch. That's what he's there for, and that's what he does really well. So I think you're crazy. Even though Johnson is doing good, he ain't Trey. And even though trying to go big lineup, that works a little bit. But when you're trying to talk about the playoffs, that doesn't work. But it just to get some. People talking about your program and talking about your organization, yeah, it does that fantastically. Celtics just hanging in there. Peyton Pritchard doing really, really well. Still, little dudes. And I'm even considered little now at 6'3". So, yeah, which is funny. The Sixers, I disagree with our boy Hotspot Casino. He thinks that the Sixers are going to be in the playoffs. I don't see it. Haven't seen it. Don't see it. Bulls just out there doing what they do, making the plays and making the things happen that they can make happen. That's basically what they're doing. Now, when we were looking at where did I put it? I know I had it in here, guys. I'm looking for our NBA Cup. There we go. Here's where the NBA Cup, and it starts next week. Starts next Tuesday on the East, but we're of course we're on the West, so we'll be playing Wednesday night. But this is where the Cup stands, and I've said this before. I made my thoughts really pretty plain about the NBA Cup. In the NBA Cup, I want us to win the Cup, and then win the chip. Those are the two things that I want us to do. Okay, be the first team to do both, because I don't think anybody's done that. We have the Suns again, which. They play us really well, but I just don't think they can beat us. Then you have the Lakers and the Spurs. Is Wemby going to be back? because reports are he's supposed to be back. That's going to be a different series. If he's not back, I don't know if they can beat the Lakers. But once again, can the Lakers stop them? Because the Lakers don't play defense. You got 3 guys who don't play defense. Austin Reeves don't play defense. Luka don't play defense. LeBron don't. You got 3 guys of your 5 don't play defense. So that's the thing that scares me about the Lakers. Now, can they score offensively? Hell yes. Luka, yes. Austin, yes. LeBron, this game, yes. Tomorrow game, no. Next game, maybe. Next game, yes. Because, no matter what he says, his age has caught up to him. But that being said, he's just not getting back from injury, so he's got to get himself in shape, which would pit us against the Lakers. And if Wemby's back again, I think the Lakers get beat by the Spurs. That's what I think. And then, of course, the winner played the opposite side, which, does any of those teams scare you? Knicks, Raptors, Heat, Pacers, does any of those, not Pacers, but Magic, does any of those teams make you nervous? No, they do not. Now, do I think the Magic can beat the Heat? Yes. Do I think Toronto can beat the Knicks? That's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Jalen Brunson and the Knicks over them. And then I'm going to go with, I don't know if Orlando's ready, so I got I'd say the Knicks and the Thunder in the finals, or the Knicks or the Thunder and the Magic in the finals. That's who I would have in the finals going against each other. And then, of course, I have the Thunder winning the chip over either whoever's coming out of the East, because I think that, one, we did not play well last year in the Cup, and I think that that's a motivating factor for us, because as Shea even admits, he had a terrible championship game. And remember, he couldn't get anything to fall. He's missing layups, uncharacteristic shots that he normally makes. He was missing. And, that's kind of what happened in the playoffs. He didn't play so many games in the playoffs, and I was afraid of that. And he was rusty until he finally got going in the Denver series in Game 5, and then he was pretty much rolling after that. But it takes a while to get going. So I'm thinking that the Thunder want to prove a point. SJ's want to prove a point. The teams want to prove a point about who they are and what high historic. Because to me, if you win the Cup, you win 74 games. What does that say for your team, your organization, and you as a team as a whole? That says a lot to me, because of the simple fact that that says a lot for me, simply because it does this. One, you do something nobody's done. You have 74 wins, you win the Cup, and you win the title. Undeniably, to me, you're in the argument of one of the top 3 to 4 greatest teams in history for a single season. I'm not talking about teams overall. I'm just for a season, okay? Because when you look at what the Celtics did in 85, 86, or whatever it was, when we matched them, they only had one home loss. But you look at us last year. On the road against Eastern Conference teams, we lost one game last year, and that was to the Cavaliers. And we played horrible. We played terrible. And then we came back, and they played here in Oklahoma City, and we beat the brakes off of them. But we played terrible. That was the only loss to the Eastern Conference team. So when you look at the East, who do you think scares you in the East? Who scares you in the East? Who do you think you're going to – you can, in the NBA, anybody can beat anybody. But when you look at the East, who scares you? Who makes you go, oh, my God, why worry about them? Who does that? Okay? Who does that? And when I look at, here's the NBA, here's the standings, okay? Let's pull up the standings so you can see what I'm saying. In the East, when you pull this up, who scares you? The Pistons. They make me nervous as hell. And that was that game last year that Kaysen came out that really established him as one of the best players. But that team scares the hell out of me. Raptors, they don't scare me. Heat, they don't scare me. Knicks, they don't scare me. Magic, they make me a little nervous. The Cavs make me a little nervous because of the matchups with them. And then after that, yeah, no. Hawks, no. Celtics, no. Sixers, no. Bulls, no. But the Pistons, they remind me of us 3 years ago. That's who they remind me of. So when I look at them, you got the Pistons that make me nervous. Raptors, no. Heat, no. Knicks, no. Magic, yeah, when they get it together at the end of the year, they'll be a different team, yes. Cavs, possibly. Hawks, no. Celtics, no. Sixers, no. Bulls, no. Like when you look at that, which one of those teams can beat us 4 times? Which one of those teams can beat us 4 times? I don't see it, and neither do you. Tell the truth. You don't see it either. You don't see those teams beating us 4 times. And then when you look at the West, can the Lakers beat us 4 times? No, I don't think they can. The Rockets, absolutely they can. Spurs, absolutely they can beat us. Nuggets, no, I don't think they don't match up with us. We match up with them, but they don't match up with us. Because for the Lakers to beat us, one of those 3 guys that I talked about earlier would have to play some sort of defense, or we'd have to be absolutely cold for 4 games. I don't see SGA going cold 4 games. I don't see us getting beat like that 4 games. I just don't. And then when you look at the Rockets just make me nervous because first of all, SGA does not play good against them at all because of their length on defense. And then we struggle against them because the length on defense, their ability to defend, and their ability to score offense. They are a mirror of us almost when you look at them. Then they finally got something that they needed, was a closer. Because last year, they finished second, but they didn't have a closer. Well, they do now. And thank God, Van Fleet. I want him to have a speedy recovery, but that helped us out immensely that he got hurt. It helped us out immensely. The Spurs, when they're fully loaded with Victor and everybody rolling, that team is a handful. That team is a handful. Them and the Rockets were the 2 teams that scared me the hell out of me. Now, the Mavericks did scare me, knowing that Kyrie was going to come back and the way they had, but they've just fallen apart. But still, when they get everybody back, that team still has some deal. And Cooper Flag is playing really well. That team still makes me nervous. They really, really make me nervous. In my beginning of the year, I thought Rockets, Spurs, depending on what Victor's health was, and then the Mavericks were the 3 biggest challenges to the Thunder for this year, for this to repeat, to get out of the West. The Lakers still can, but you got to play defense. And you're talking about who do they do? If we play the Lakers in the finals, we sweep them. If we play the Lakers first round, that's different. The second round, if they've got to play the way it stands now, we'd have to play the Spurs, which be a knockdown, drag out. I think we can get by them, but that would be every bit 6-7 games. Lakers and Rockets would beat the hell out of each other. And if the Lakers did some kind of way beat the Rockets, we'd beat the Lakers because physically they just can't keep up because they would just wear down because, one, they're old, 2, they don't play enough defense. They just can't. They can't. But the Rockets, yeah, that would be a tough one. So that's how I break it down when I look at the NBA Finals. I look at what we can do. But once again, I showed you what we were defensively. I showed you, and I'm going to pull it up again just for you guys who maybe missed this and came in late. This is why I fear the teams that I fear, and I don't fear the teams I don't fear. The Thunder accolades as far as their defense this year. This is why I don't fear any of those teams in the East except the Pistons, because they kind of are like us. But net efficiency, 15.3, which improves where we were last year. Defensive efficiency, 103.6. That's first. Opponents' points percentage, we're first. Pips, points in the paint, first. Turnovers, 18.1, turning our opponents over. Points per game off turnovers, 24.9. Deflections, 23. That means 23 times a week somebody gets their hand on the ball. Percentage of 3-point contested shots, 19.7 of the defense's contested shots of the opposing team. And opponent's points off drive, 93. Why? We protect the paint. What did I say we needed to do? What did I say we needed to do at the end of 3 years ago? Improve our outside shooting, perimeter defense, and what? Inside presence. Those are the 3 things we needed to do. And 2 years ago, we fixed that. We got Casey Wallace in, we fixed that. We got Chet back, we fixed that. Outside shooting and perimeter defense. Did nothing for inside presence. Then last year, Sam Presti traded for Caruso, and then we brought in iHeart. Now you're solid. Outside shooting, perimeter defense, and inside presence. points in the paint by your opponents. We were number one. We're still number one. Those are the things that make the difference that keep you on top of the things I just mentioned. That's why the Thunder are who they are, and that's why we are who we are, and that's why I don't fear this team, this team, this team. But I do fear the other teams. I do fear the Rockets. I fear the Spurs. I'm nervous about the Nuggets because Jokic, he's just a monster. He's an absolute monster. He just is. But when you got your guy SGA, who now is in second place, Wilson third, and it's so funny as I was making this comment to somebody how the way that they had everybody ranked. Remember I was telling you about that, how that just bothered me, where SGA was ranked. Here's the most consecutive games to 20 points. Jordan had 72 and KD had 72. But they said KD, they didn't say he was tied with Michael Jordan. They said KD had the most points of anybody since the merger, which is ABA, NBA. As soon as SGA took over at 73, then SGA became the fourth behind Wilt, and Oscar Robertson. Then, of course, he ties Oscar Robertson, breaks his record to 79, and then the next one was 92, which he broke Sunday. And then 93 is where he's at now, he's at 94 now. That's who SGA is. He broke it against Sunday night, and then he added to it Wednesday night. He tied it Friday night, and then, of course, he broke it Sunday against the Blazers, and then he's at 94 tonight. So, and I believe it's because I've got him winning. I've got him scoring 20 against the Suns on Tuesday or Wednesday in the Cup. And then I've got him scoring 20. We win them, and then I've got him 20 scoring again to get to the finals. And then when you get to the finals, that game doesn't count. So March 7th is the game against the Warriors here in Oklahoma City, is the game that I have him getting the all-time record at 127, which is insane. That's insane. When you think Kevin Durant, Jordan are all at 72. Now I think that it's been brought up and it's on the radar. I think you think more and more people are going to do it. It's like I was saying the other day that he had, 12 points or something. We were kind of blowing somebody out. Whether they were going to put him in the fourth quarter, or they leave him in or bring him back in the fourth quarter just to make sure he got his points. And, of course, he didn't trust that. He said, screw this. I'm going to go ahead and get my 20. Because that's basically what LeBron did, average to have the most 10 points consecutive games at 1,297 or 6 or whatever it was. And he did that for one reason. Dude, you're playing terrible. You're getting beat 25. Why the hell are you on the court? Oh, so you can keep your streak alive. Would the Thunder do that? And I was asking somebody about that the other night. Don't know. Don't know if they would. That being said, hey, everybody have a great day out there. Remember, 2025 World Champions. Let's repeat.